Hello everyone, it's Draith, back at it again with another tier list, yet I don't know if this is going to become a regular thing, but we'll see how it goes. So today, instead of ranking Mori's, I'm going to be ranking the add-ons for the Legion's Power Feral Frenzy. I play a lot of Legion is my most played killer, so today I'm here to rank them on how useful they are. It's ranging from always useful to Frank level, and you'll see why it's called Frank level soon enough. So we're going to start with the brown add-ons, and we're going to move up to the pink ones. I know it's out of order there, but we're going to end on the pink ones and get the purple ones done first. So first we have the smiley face pin. The smiley face pin allows you to hit survivors who are highlighted by Killer Instinct and apply the blindness status effect to them for 60 seconds. Blindness is typically very useful, but it only lasts for 60 seconds, and if you continue chasing them, then the blindness is already going to be over, plus they have to mend themselves. It's not the best, but it's not useless. So we're going to put it in not particularly good. Blindness for 60 seconds can always be useful in a pinch. You never know. It's distracting the survivors. Okay. Mischief List. This slightly increases the duration of Feral Frenzy. Duration add-ons are typically very, very good for Feral Frenzy, but this one is a pretty minuscule effect. So we're going to put it at the top of not particularly good, but it does have its uses. Etched Ruler basically increases the recharge rate of Feral Frenzy. However, I am not particularly a fan of it because Feral Frenzy isn't exactly a power that you need to have constantly, because Legion typically relies on getting people injured with Feral Frenzy and then downing them with your basic M1 attacks. The Ruler just makes you have the power back faster, but you're not always going to need it. So I'm not a fan of the recharge add-ons. Lastly, we have the Friendship Bracelet, which increases the duration, or excuse me, not the duration, increases the distance you can see survivors with your Killer Instinct. I would say it's giving you a challenge because it's a brown add-on, and it gives you a bonus in an area that you don't always particularly need. So I'm not a huge fan of it. We're going to move on to the next one. So now we have the defaced smiley pin. Now, compared to the smiley face pin on its own, this gives survivors the mangled status effect for 60 seconds after you hit them with Feral Frenzy and they're highlighted by Killer Instinct. Now, mangled just makes the survivors heal slower, but they have to mend first, and it doesn't apply this debuff to the mending. So typically survivors can just wait it out, because compared to Sloppy Butcher applies until the survivor heals. This just applies for 60 seconds. It's not good, but I suppose you can, I'm going to put it in bad, but above the Ruler. It has a use, I suppose, but it's just not great. Okay, next we have the Etched Ruler. It's just a stronger version of the Scratched Ruler. It's just not very useful still. So giving yourself a challenge for sure, but it is slightly more powerful, so I'm putting it up a rank. Never Sleep Pills. Just a stronger version of the Friendship Bracelet. It makes you see survivors farther away with your Killer Instinct, and that's basically it. Bottom of not particularly good. Jules Mixtape, or Julie's Mixtape, basically makes your fatigue from your frenzy a bit shorter, but because her add-on does not influence, it's like a negligible amount of decreased cooldown. So it's not the best. We'll put it here above the Etched Ruler. Finally, we have the Mural Sketch. Mural Sketch just applies a longer duration to your Feral Frenzy. It's fun and fair to me. It's good. Okay, next we have the Nasty Blade. Nasty Blade increases the amount of time that survivors have to take to mend themselves from your deep wounds slightly. It's not good, but it's better than, I suppose, the Smiley Face Pin. But duration add-ons trump that for sure. Joey's Mixtape. Very useful when combined with Cold Dirt. I would say it's the top of fun and fair. Basically, it just decreases your fatigue from Feral Frenzy more than the Julie's Mixtape does. Legion Pin. This is one of the best add-ons that the Legion has. Basically, compared to the other smiley face pins, whenever you hit a survivor highlighted by Killer Instinct, they become broken for 60 seconds, and broken basically means that they just can't heal until that timer is up. Very useful when stalling survivors. Okay, Stolen Sketchbook increases the amount of time you have during Feral Frenzy by a considerable amount. I love using this add-on. I love duration effects on Feral Frenzy. It's always good, especially when you combine it with a Legion pin. Gives you more time to get people broken. So those two are a great combo. I would say they're always useful. Susie's Mixtape. Basically a stronger version of Never Sleep Pills. Just makes it so you can see survivors even further away with Killer Instinct, even if they're not inside your terror radius. Good for information, not exactly good for getting people damaged. We'll put it at the very bottom of Fun and Fair. Now we're on to the purple add-ons. Cold Dirt is definitely up there and always useful. I would put it above the I'll put it below the sketchbook, but it's not by much. Cold Dirt and Joey's Mixtape takes the time that you have for fatigue from 4 seconds down to 3 seconds, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a noticeable difference. And it's very, very useful when you Feral Frenzy, get ahead of a survivor, and then you have time to catch up to them. You can start running again sooner. Okay. Stab Wound Study is in Frank's level. What Stab Wound Study does, because I call it Crap Wound Study, it basically reduces the amount of time that survivors have to mend their deep wounds, which is not useful because survivors can just run and stop their timer from going down, and if they're in your terror radius, it doesn't go down, and if they mend, the timer can hit 0 and they can keep mending. It's not good. It's a waste of an add-on spot. It's not good. Don't use it. It's bad. Okay, Filthy Blade. Stronger version of the green blade. When you combine them, it can be a pretty annoying combo to go against. There used to be a bug that when you put these together, the time to mend would keep multiplying, but that bug is gone. They're still pretty useful together though. Frank's Mixtape. Wonder where you think that one's going. I've tested this with friends. If you use both, well, first off, I should say what it does. Frank's Mixtape allows your Feral Frenzy attacks to considerably reduce a survivor's Feral Frenzy or a deep wound timer. However, you would think using both of these add-ons would cause the survivor to go down from maybe 3 Feral Frenzy hits. It takes 5 Feral Frenzy hits, and it's worth noting, whenever you hit a survivor who has deep wounds on them, you instantly deplete your entire power meter. Survivors can mend within that amount of time, and you know what that means? You gotta hit them 5 more times again. Just use your M1. Don't use these add-ons, they're terrible. Okay. Fuming Mixtape. While using Feral Frenzy allows you to determine the progress of generators by the intensity of their auras. Good information perk, good information add-on. But I found better. I mean, if you're good at patrolling generators, then you should be fine. I just use Discordance instead of this, and it tends to go pretty well for me. I would put it above the lowest duration add-on, but other than that, I don't really see a particular use for it. Iridescent Button. This one is a bit hard for me to rank, because what it does is whenever you go into Feral Frenzy, your terror radius covers the entire map. Oh, did I take this out? No, it's not Frank level. Your terror radius covers the entire map, and whenever you vault the pallet, it's instantly destroyed. That part is very useful, but the terror radius covering the entire map makes survivors more likely to run away from you, and it doesn't give you enough time to reach them. So I like to use this add-on a lot. I like that one quite a bit. However, there's a lot of counterplay to it. So this is my list for Legion add-ons. Some are really good, some are Frank level. Don't use the Frank level ones, and you should be fine. This is just my opinion, obviously, and if you have any counter opinions to mine, feel free to say that, and I'd be happy to read it. That's all I got. Have a good one.